Hi guys, I am getting over a cold, so I might sound a little congested, but my skin is definitely showing the signs of being sick, and also I had milk for the first time in 5 years, just to see if milk still breaks me out the way it used to. And apparently it does. I'm already getting a lot of texture on my forehead, and I'm getting cystic acne. That is something that I want to address in a later video, like my whole adult acne story and how I cleared it up. I'm not really concerned with my face right now, like my skin and my acne. In a couple months it'll be fine. Now I just know that milk is still off limits to me. But now that I'm feeling a little bit better, I'm really eager to play with makeup. So I figured I would fix the hot mess right here because I feel like I look as bad as I feel. And I'm gonna chat with you guys a little bit, so this might be a long one. The most important part of doing makeup after I've been sick is the way my skin has been reacting, and it definitely needs a little bit more moisture right now. So I basically bathed in this, the Badescu facial spray with aloe, cucumber, and green tea. This bottle is $12, and I use it before I ever apply moisturizer. Like, I spray my face first, and then I put moisturizer on top to kind of block it in. And also when I have dry skin or when I've been sick or in the winter, I kind of like to refresh my face with this, like a bare, no makeup face. I like to refresh my face with this throughout the day. So I bathed in that before sitting down. And I've also applied many layers of my medicated chapstick. I do those things to ensure that the makeup will look good later. Starting with my brows. That way I can kind of carve them out with concealer and foundation. Once my skin clears up again, I really want to do kind of a full video on how I cleared my acne, how I identified what kind of acne I had, and how I maintain my skin now, because there have been 2 times in the past 5 years where I had pretty severe adult acne for like 6 months to a 12 month period. Yeah, 6 years ago when I started to deal with acne, I couldn't handle it. That's actually how I got into makeup. I was young and I wasn't really able to accept the fact that my skin looked like that, and I didn't know how to take care of it. I'm going to use my Maybelline Master Concealer on the eyelid and then to carve out the brows. But yeah, I was at the mall 6 years ago when I couldn't figure out like what was wrong with my skin, and I was so embarrassed. I was looking around at all these people with beautiful, flawless skin, and I saw so many girls with like smooth, flawless skin wearing a lot of makeup, and I guess I just couldn't accept that I didn't look like that because I had never had to deal with acne before. I feel like when you have a lot of acne, you feel like that's the only thing that people see when they look at you. I'm going to set my concealer so the eyeshadow will blend over it really well. All this time that I have been wanting to start a channel, there were a lot of times where I felt like my acne was too severe and I wasn't comfortable with coming on camera. Now, looking back, I wish I would have. I wish I would have started many, many years ago when I had acne so that I could show people like how to cover it and how to deal with makeup and acne at the same time. I'm going to use the Makeup Revolution. This is the New-Trals versus Neutrals palette. I'm going to dabble in a variation of all these matte shades here and kind of build up some sort of soft matte brown color, and then I'll just pop some shimmer on the lid. Now, many years later, skincare is really important to me and I stick to my skincare routine. And although I'm not a professional, it's something I'm so interested in and passionate about that if I had the resources, I would have gone to school to be an esthetician. But since I don't, I just did as much research at home as I possibly could. And after dealing with all of that for so long, when I have this kind of issue going on, it's not that bad. I will take it. It's nothing compared to what I had, so I'm not gonna complain. And I kind of did this to myself because I wanted to try milk, and apparently that's still a no-go for me. I'm gonna take this creamy kind of ivory matte shade and just kind of buff out the edges and brighten that area a little bit more. I'm going to take my Essence Dark Circle Eraser, and although I'm not using it on my dark circles, I'm applying just a little bit in the back of my hand. And I'm going to use this brush and kind of just add this into the center to brighten it and make it tacky so that when I lay my shimmer on top, it will stick. I'm going to take this kind of pink nude shimmer shade and just dab it right over that color correcting concealer type product. It's not the best at color correcting, it's too light pink and bright. It might be for a better skin tone, but for me it's not the best at color correcting. It is good at brightening though. But I really wanted to use the texture for this right now. I'm trying to get in the habit of not looking into the viewfinder as much as I have been and looking more into the lens. But that means that I keep letting things get in the way. For the center of the lid, I'm going to take this color next to it. It's like a light taupey purple shimmer shade. It's just a little bit darker for over here. And I'm going to blend that out. So at this point in my life, through all the skin issues that I've dealt with and the years that I've grown, I don't mind coming on the internet with all these skin issues because I know that skin is skin and everybody is different, and adult acne is common. Some people can have clear skin their entire lives and reach their 30s and all of a sudden deal with acne. And there's so much like shame and stigma behind it, and it's kind of sad. I swear my neighbors are so quiet for hours. And then I start filming. And then they come out. They make so much noise. I'm going to take just a small amount of this shade. I just want to deepen up the outer corner a little bit. Blend that into the crease. I'm taking my blending brush and just buffing out the edges. I really like this palette for versatility and color options. There are a lot of color options in here that I don't necessarily have in my collection. I know that I was really excited when I first bought the palette, but I don't think the quality is the best of the best, but I do think that Makeup Revolution does have better quality eyeshadow palettes than this one. I think their Iconic line, or Icon line, Iconic line? Yeah, Iconic line is a little bit better. It's hot in here. Now I'm taking a break from the eyes and I'm going to tackle the face. And the first thing that I'm going to do for all of my redness and my redness from being sick and my redness from my acne, oh boy, I got a lot going on. I take a green color corrector concealer. So I'm taking the NYX HD Concealer with the Dofa applicator, and I don't ever want to apply this directly onto my acne because I don't want to, you know, contaminate the applicator and then put it back to the tube. So I put it on the back of my hand, and I just put a very small amount back there. And I have found that this is very full coverage green, but it's almost like too green, and it will peek through foundation if I'm not careful. So I dab some concealer next to it and I blend. That way it's creamy and it kind of mutes the green just a little bit. because this by itself will dry down pretty quickly and be a little bit more difficult to blend. But if I mix it with this concealer, then I can go a little bit further with it and blend. I want to work in small sections and blend this with a damp sponge. I do clean my makeup brushes and my sponges more often when I'm sick and when I have acne as well. I don't ever want to contaminate my products. I usually don't even mess with makeup when I'm sick until the end when I'm feeling better. Like today, I finally feel human again. Wherever I am applying color corrector and concealer and foundation, I want to be extra careful that it's blended out so that it doesn't get cakey. And one area that can occur quite easily is in my creases, like right here and right around the nose. So always make sure I smooth that out because I don't want heavy layer on layer on layer. I know everything looks kind of nuts right now, but I'm going to take my L'Oreal True Match Lumi in the shade In-1-2. This is a little too dark for me, a little too warm. So I mix it with my L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow in the shade 202, and this one is a little bit more neutral. These two create a good match for me, but also the warmth and the Lumi will help smooth out some of the green. And if I want more coverage than I usually need for foundation, instead of just applying with a sponge, I'll apply with a flat foundation paddle brush, and then I will blend it out with the sponge. This is where carving my brows out with foundation is helpful. That's why I've been trying to do my brows before foundation lately. Like I'm just trying something new, and I do kind of get like a sharper, cleaner brow. Those under eye circles are on point today, huh? Oh boy. I do still have a little bit of product with my hand, but I'm going to blend this out with a sponge, and wherever I feel like might need a little bit more coverage, then I will go back into the product that's blended in my hand, or that's mixed on my hand. Now I'm going to conceal those under eyes with the same Maybelline Master Conceal concealer. It's the most full coverage one that I have right now, and I really like it because it doesn't crease. I'm going to use the brush to carve out the eyeshadow a little bit. Just to kind of lift the eye. I want to be extra sure that the concealer is not settling into my fine lines before I set, or else I'm just going to set the creasing into place as well. So all those areas that crease need to be blended. And then I will take my e.l.f. High Definition Setting Powder. I was going to use my Laura Mercier setting powder like I usually do today, but I really wanted this to be like a full face of affordable makeup. And I think this is $6. I'm powdering pretty heavily on the areas that not only I will get oily or sweaty, or that I suspect might break down, but I'm also powdering pretty heavily over the areas with concealer. See, look, that guy's still trying to come through, but I don't care. He's like a brand new angry baby. I'm not gonna fight him on it either. Look, I don't look sick anymore. Now to bring some normal life and color back into my face, I'm going in with my e.l.f. blush and bronzer duo in the shade Fiji. It's a dirty little mirror. I'm not gonna go in too hard with the blush because I just worked on covering all that redness and I don't want to bring that much back out. Now that the face is done, I'm going to focus on the lower lash line. I'm just going to go in with this warm brown and put that right in there close to the lash line, right in the outer edge. Whoa, that was pigmented. And then I'm going to dab it into the upper lash line. I really don't like wing liner. I don't like to mess with it. I have shaky hands. I usually make a mess. It's one of those things where if I just do it at home and I'm not going anywhere, it's fine. But if I do it to try to take pictures of it, or if I do it on camera, it's crooked, it's not worth it to me, and it's not that flattering on my eyes. So I like to just smoke out liner right there on the outer corner of my lash line and then blend it out. I'm using my Essence Volume Stylist 18-Hour Lash Extension Mascara. I still, like, I'm on the fence about it. I love it. I love the way it ends up looking. And it does last a long time. Like, it holds a curl and it doesn't flake. But it almost lasts too long because it is a pain to get off. But Essence mascaras are pretty awesome. They're usually like $4 to $6. And as often as I replace my mascaras, I really don't find it worth it to pay $30 for a mascara. I'm going to put black eyeliner in my waterline, so I don't want too much mascara on my lower lashes because I don't want like too many heavy colors down there because it will kind of drag the eye down. And then I always line the top because it makes your lashes look fuller. Such a weird angle. I would set my face, just to stick with the affordable option, I would set my face with the NYX Dewy Finish Setting Spray because it is very affordable, but I'm out of that and I don't want to reach for my MAC Fix Plus because that's not like in the affordable spectrum. But the Mario Badescu spray you can get at Ulta. I don't always set my makeup with this because it does have skincare ingredients in it, so I feel like I'm not really doing a whole lot spraying it on top of makeup. But just for the sake of staying in the affordable range, I am going to set my face with this. I usually wouldn't set my face after mascara because I don't want my mascara to smudge, but I know that that stuff's not going anywhere. Now, obviously being sick has just made my lips even drier than usual. So to kind of smooth out all the lines and texture, I'm going to use the NYX Lip Primer. Just a little bit. I still have kind of a layer of chapstick on too. And for color, I'm going to take the Colourpop Lippie, Little Lippie, such a weird name, in the shade Gold Digger. And this is the shade Aquarius. This is a Colourpop Ultra Glossy Lip. The name wore off. I think this is like the only lip gloss that I use now. I'm not sure about that lip combo with the eyes. You know what? I'm gonna warm up the eyes real quick. I just want to warm it up so that the eyes and lips are a little bit cohesive, so I'm going in with kind of a warm peach shade. Because the eyes are a little too cool tone for that. One thing that I do want to just go ahead and throw out there, and it's really important to me if I'm going to come online and show my face and talk about skin issues and talk about my acne and be open about it and feel comfortable doing that. I don't ever want to use blurring filters on my videos. Because when I was starting to watch YouTube videos, I didn't know that blurring filters were a thing. And I didn't understand why my skin didn't look like theirs. And my foundation didn't look like these girls on YouTube. Oh my goodness, this is going to be the longest video ever because that's like the 5th time that my camera stopped recording while I was filming or talking. But anyways, it's important to me to come online and finally feel okay with who I am enough to not feel worried about what kind of comments I might get. I know that I can be very self-deprecating. I have like a self-deprecating sense of humor. Like, it's easier for me to point out my flaws. That way, nobody else can feel like they have to. And that's not always the healthiest way to look at it, but I've kind of had to adapt this attitude of screw it. Like, I have acne and I'll probably be able to clear it up in a month or two. If not, it's really not a big deal. I really have no interest in pretending to be someone I'm not. I feel like Instagram pictures are sometimes a different story because I do like to blur skin in photos, like edit photos in a way that's more flattering to the skin on Instagram or even in my video thumbnails. That way the makeup can be the main focus, but in my videos I'm not going to try to pretend that a foundation works better than it doesn't, because then how is anybody supposed to know the truth? Like, I don't ever want blurring filters on my videos. When I found out that that was a thing, I felt pretty duped that there were people on YouTube doing that, either not mentioning it or just acting like their skin was flawless and didn't have texture even after applying makeup. Because, I mean, from this point of view, my skin looks a lot better and I don't feel and look like a hot mess like I did, but I will zoom you in because I have no interest in deceiving anyone. Focus. Like, I still have texture right there. I almost always have texture right there, but that guy's not going anywhere. He's peeking through pretty nicely. And that's been a huge motivator for me to make my own channel, is to just come on here and finally learn how to be myself, even to the internet. But yeah, that was pretty deep. I don't know why I went there right now, but yeah. That's my hot mess makeover using all affordable products. Thank you so much for watching. As always, my dog's having a bad dream. I gotta go. Bye guys.